All right, welcome back to Faith and Whatever. Welcome to our much beloved topic, a much beloved video.
The topic of pop?
Yeah, which is Pop Topic, which isn't necessarily a popular topic in pop culture, but we can talk about anything that we want. Most specifically, what's going on today in the world, what's relevant, what are you guys talking about, what's the world talking about. So today, Sunday, the 8th day after the beginning, or 7th day at the beginning of the Olympics 2016 in Rio, we are going to discuss Rio Olympics disaster or not.
We all know the answer to that question.
There has been a lot of discussion about this, and I'm not the most fully informed, but I did watch an HBO special about it, so that must mean something.
I did stay at a Holiday Inn.
I did stay in a Holiday Inn. I watched it during a Holiday Inn. I did not. But about 2 weeks ago, my wife and I watched this show about how Rio got the Olympics, all the promises that they made that would change the infrastructure of their city. A vast majority of those did not come true. There's been the Zika scare. This is before the Olympics have started. There's been protests. There's been the violence and kind of like kidnapping scare because Rio is not technically a safe city. So there's been lots of fears about what would happen when the Olympics go to Rio. And then now here we are a week into the Olympics, and myself and Chris, who have been watching some of the Olympics, and James, who has been watching none, we're here to discuss, and we'd love to hear from some of your comments here below in our video about how you think the Olympics are going. I will touch on some obvious, I guess I would just say blunders of the Olympics, or some obvious issues of the Olympics. So starting from the very beginning, Rio promised to get rid of the open raw sewage that's dumped into the bay. I don't know the name of the bay.
They did a good job of that, I hear.
I hear that they did nothing, and the sewage still comes into the bay. Many of the athletes were worried about what's that disease you get when you drink sewage?
Dysentery.
Yeah, dysentery. And gosh, we were talking about it in Mexico. What is it called?
The Black Death.
Giardia. That's what it is.
Doesn't she have a cooking show?
Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully, it doesn't give you diarrhea. So they're worried about it, and according to one of the sources that I said, that the officials in Olympics just said, please avoid getting the water in the bay in your mouth.
While you're swimming in it.
Tell that to the open ocean water swimmers. I did watch a video where a couple of the sailing teams were coming down months and months early to practice, and they were a little concerned about it, but they said, like, what do you do? I mean, this is, for the vast majority of the athletes, literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There's nothing they can do. A couple of other issues that have arisen since the beginning of the Olympics is a vast majority of muggings and pickpocketing. Within the first day, at least 2 official Olympic
there's actually been 4 now. Or sorry, not photographers. There's been 4 Olympians.
Olympians?
That have been robbed.
At gunpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 Olympians. Just last night, as filming of this episode, Ryan Lochte, who had just competed in the Olympics that night, was him and 3 other Olympians were robbed at gunpoint. Hopefully, I didn't steal the medals as far as I know. But photographers are getting just stripped of all of their gear, very expensive. No issues, I think, in the opening ceremonies. The pools. The pools are supposed to be a nice bright blue.
They're a beautiful, beautiful green.
Yeah, they're a green.
They're just trying to give a green backdrop so they can put pictures and videos behind the
nice pond feel, right?
Yeah, pond feel. Yeah, stagnant pond feel. Supposedly, I saw one article said it smells like farts.
It looks like the same glowing color as some of the drinks in Star Trek in the background.
Actually, we're looking at pictures of it, and there's the diving pool, which is green, and the swimming pool is blue. It's kind of cool. A little like blue and green. It's pretty.
So you're saying they should dye the pools next year?
Yeah, maybe. I heard algae is why it's green technically, and algae blooms.
Maybe they're just making biofuel.
Yeah, they gotta pay for it somehow. Those have been the main issues. Many would say that Rio is just not ready. This is the first Olympics in a South American country. this is the infrastructure just wasn't there. Brazil has issues. It's obviously not as bad as, say, a country like Nicaragua or Colombia.
Is
But
this the height of our white privilege that we're sitting around making fun of countries?
well,
Because I want to be clear, we're not making fun of Brazil. We're making
No.
fun of a government that overextended itself,
right,
has oppressed its own people to make this happen.
right.
And
I
personally,
mean, like, it coming to you, like, would I be ready to host the Olympics? I don't think I would be ready.
well, and personally, and I bet Chris can agree to this, that what I'm really making fun of is the circus of it all. The circus of the Olympics, of what cities do to try to attract it, what they end up going through because they won, the prize that is the Olympics.
It's almost like when you see a person trying to impress a member of the opposite sex, and they'll do all these ridiculous things.
Don't try and impress the world.
Yeah, and then they end up in a relationship with them, and their life is just miserable.
There's some. I saw this documentary. There are some facilities in Beijing that have not been reused since the last day of the Olympics.
Yeah, that's like a chronic problem with the Olympics.
I
isn't
think
it?
even the place that the opening and closing ceremonies happened had not been reused, and Beijing was not. That was 2 Summer Olympics ago.
Or that's true of also the Olympics in Greece. Was it Athens?
Yeah, Athens.
'Cause
2000,
I-
wasn't
It
it?
was rotted away.
Because I happen to be listening to This American Life, which is covering some of the refugees, the Syrian refugees in Greece, and which isn't American Life, but it's still super interesting. And I guess a lot of the housing for those Syrian refugees are old sites
housings?
for the Olympic sites, not necessarily housing,
Okay.
but places where the Olympics were
Well,
happening.
yeah, they were just rotting away. You might
Right.
as well. Yeah, I mean, it's so here's one of the suggested solutions. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Suggested that they're just the Olympics, the summer and winter, held in one spot every 4 years.
Just one permanent spot.
One permanent spot. The
Yeah, who's gonna
IOC
get
funds it through various sponsorships and things like that. And who gets it is the question that I don't know the answer to. But the money, when you build a giant stadium and swimming facility, it'll get used probably year round because people can practice there and people want to go there to get ready. So it'd probably be a training facility for 3 of the 4 years that it's being used. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think the people would go for it. I think people like the idea of it moving around and the chance to have it in their own home country, and
Yeah.
I think it's part of the appeal of the whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I don't think people are going to go for that. I think that I've seen a couple of posts when someone says, this is why the Olympics aren't held in one place every year, because there's a lot of Brazil pride right now. And most Brazilians feel, for the most part, they're doing a really good job of hosting Olympics,
Right.
which I don't know if that's true or not.
And didn't they just have the World Cup too?
Soccer?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Probably.
They built those stadiums that basically haven't been used since.
Are they using that for the Olympic soccer?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that more.
I hope they are.
That's a good question. Now, James, somebody who is fairly benevolent when it comes to Olympic and American pride, apparently.
Benevolent? That's good. I'm
ambivalent.
not
Oh, ambivalent. Sorry.
Ambivalent.
This is going all
Clear-
kinds of oury.
Sorry. Clearly, you have
Yeah,
no
don't call me benevolent. How dare you?
Clearly, you have no American pride. Tell me why it is that you're not watching Olympics, and tell me what it is that you think about how this Olympics compares to others that you have watched.
Well, to be fair, I've never been huge into the Olympics, and when I did watch the Olympics, it was often the Winter Olympics most of the time. Something about the same reason I'd watch the Winter Olympics is the same reason that I watched Deadliest Catch. I like the sense of feeling really, really cold as I watched it. I like
Okay.
the winter, cold atmosphere that I saw while I watched the sports.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Have you watched any of the Olympics this year?
This year, only ones I've caught by accident because I was
Like at
in
a
some
restaurant or something?
Yeah, I was in some other place where they were being shown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We watch it every day.
Part of what's turned me off this time, because there's been some other years when I let it be on in the background,
Yeah.
but the reason I haven't done it this time, and I don't want to say this is NBC's fault, those are the people who usually show the Olympics, it's
Commercials.
definitely more something that the internet has done to me, is that there's too much focus on every time an American wins something. Like I like celebrating winners, American or not.
Like the medal count, whenever they break, and Bob Costas is like, "Here's the medal count," and of course America's on top every time.
Yeah, and every time America wins a medal, there's just all this to do on the internet about it, and that sort of turns me off. I would rather just see the winners, whoever they are and wherever they're from.
Well, they just happen to mostly be American.
That's true.
Part of that,
we
partly
are
true.
in the lead with the most medals and most gold here.
Let me.
But I haven't seen any other country at all been celebrated in my news feeds or in
1 out of 10. They'll talk about. Okay, let me fill you in.
Okay.
I won't start with America. I'll start with some other countries. Fiji won their first ever gold ever at the Olympics in rugby.
First year for rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, and the first year for rugby. Ironically, the leading champion in that field was America, the 1920s or something. Yeah, defending America literally won
because the last time it was
right.
I was gonna say America hasn't done much with rugby since then, probably.
Yeah. No, we did not come close this year. But Fiji won, and it says for a country their size, that's an incredible win because the sport is very demanding and takes lots of people, and a country that size usually doesn't have the budget to have that great of a rugby team. Let me think of any other cool statistics about other countries winning.
So you don't have many.
The Irish rowers, everybody's loving them.
Oh yeah, they're blowing up on the internet.
Yeah, everybody loves them on the internet.
Because you can't understand them.
Oh, they're just really funny and down to earth.
I know that women soccer lost to another country.
Sweden.
So Sweden won women's soccer for the first time. Women have dominated the soccer since like the late 80s. United States have dominated soccer. Okay, moving on, because NBC only shows me American winners. Couple cool things happen. Obviously, you have Michael Phelps, who's won his 28th medal.
Speaking of winners.
28th medal. 23rd.
Literally defeating mythology, breaking mythology with this latest medal.
I do think it's kind of funny that we're talking about someone beat him in one of the races.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but he's done like 10 races.
Like that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're racing against the guy who's done 9 other races or whatever it is. I don't even know how many he competes in anymore. But it's just kind of funny.
Like 6 or 7.
You can't win all of them. It's okay, right. Mike. We still like.
I mean, when he doesn't win, he gets silver.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't even. Supposedly he's retired. He's 31. A 35-year-old swimmer didn't win a gold medal. The oldest swimmer to win a gold medal this year. So theoretically, he says he's done, but everyone wants him to continue. I kind of think just keep going until Ari getting his bronze.
Well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants to do, and he has it's his life. I imagine it's not competing next time 4 years from now that's stopping him. It's all the training between now and then that you have to do.
Now, the biggest win of the entire Olympics is Simone Biles. Have you heard of her?
No.
Simone Biles is by far the greatest gymnast to ever live. And I'll tell you why. Simone Biles won the individual all-around, which is one gymnast, and I think 4 events: floor, balance beam, uneven bars, and vault. You run and then jump.
Sure.
She won by 2.4 points, but then the second place player, which was another American, I forget her name, 2.4 points is more than the point spread from the all-around Olympics women's combined from 1984 to 2012.
Huh.
So from 1984 to 2012, the spread from first and second place, combined equaled less than 2.4 points.
Wow.
So they're not. I mean, luckily all you win is a gold. You don't win points. So if next year potentially she might be too old, then someone else could win that gold. But she's smashed every single point record that you can hold for the Olympics. It wasn't even a competition. The competition was for second and third. The female women's American gymnasts have been dominated every single world champion Olympics since like 2008. But it was really cool. And Allie Raisman, that's who it was second place. She totally bombed on the uneven bars and was in 8th place, and then was flawless for the next 3 and got second place.
And then there's Kim Road too. You see her?
Who's that?
She is a shooter. Shoots American double trap.
And
is she the one with the Witcher gear on?
No, that was a Swedish. It was.
Or something.
This is her. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6th Olympics in a row.
Wow.
6th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does she win? She medal every year?
Yes, she took bronze this year.
And she's an American?
Yep.
Trap shooting. I didn't even get to. That's a shotgun, right? Like clay
Yeah.
pigeon. I didn't get to see that.
6-time national champ in double trap.
That's got to be a record.
Most successful female shooter at the Olympics.
And that's got to be a record for the length. How old is she? She's probably in her 40s.
She was born in 79.
Wow, she was young when she started
Yeah.
the Olympics. 6 Olympics.
37 now.
That's really impressive. So there's a lot. The cool thing I like about the Olympics is
California girl too.
Really.
Yep.
And shoots guns. Wow, it's rare.
Probably from Central California.
Yeah, probably.
And it says here she
Or
went to let's see, Cal Poly Pomona.
What? That's cool.
Born in Whittier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, local.
Very local.
Try and get her on the show.
There we go.
Yeah.
Come on, Kim. A lot of what I like to see is it's sickening in some sense, but to push the human body to its physical limits is something that needs to be done, and I'm glad it's not me. It always will be done, whether or not it's the
pushes
Olympics.
evolution along.
But so I would say the
Yeah.
great thing about the Olympics is, you see a gymnast not quite pull off some amazing vault, and you sit there eating your potato chips going, oh man, they suck.
Yeah. Yeah. They only did like 6 flips and then tripped a little.
And then I love watching like black and white Olympic videos from the 50s when they do like one flip and people
Yeah.
are freaking out. It's just ridiculous. There is a girl swimmer who's huge. I don't remember what's her name. The one that beat by like 10 seconds.
I don't know. I've been keeping up there. I've been watching soccer lately.
There's a girl that has gold won every single event she's entered in for like 3 years. She's only 20 right now. She did the 800 meter, and she won by 3 times the amount of seconds
These people
that
make me
any
feel
other
like
Olympics has ever won again.
Such an underachiever.
There's a picture of her, and you can see
What
almost.
was I doing when I was 20? Delivering pizza? And
Yeah.
Running from police.
You can see half the
Maybe.
pool. She's finished, and you cannot see another swimmer.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, and she beat her own record too.
Oh yeah, world record, and it was
Yeah.
a world record.
And it was her world record.
Yeah, personal record. Oh yeah. The last record was
Yeah.
hers.
So
Yeah.
she just keeps making it better.
Then she solved world hunger. It was really
Yeah.
weird.
But I guess she gave a shout out on Twitter that she did it clean and no doping.
So
like
Michael
that.
Phelps for president. And
I don't know if there's been any doping scandals this year.
I'd probably take Michael Phelps over Donald Trump.
I'd take him over Hillary too.
Wow. So that has been our commentary on the Olympics. It's been pretty fun, and I think that has to do with the potential for disaster at every turn. My wife, after we watched that documentary, she's like, I don't really want to watch the Olympics because I think it's kind of sad for those who don't make it, and it's kind of ruins your identity. There's been some cool Christian moments too, with some Christians kind of speaking out when they can be interviewed at the end, which is pretty cool. And we can
I
talk about
once
that.
I had a professor who was a alternate on the Olympic rowing team back in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
And I asked him if he had any advice. I was in my early 20s. And he said just this. He said, run fast while you have legs.
Did he not have legs?
No, he did, but
Oh.
he was just saying while you have the legs to do it.
I've actually touched an Olympic medal. My neighbor was
I thought it was
Ann-
going to be a sad story like
No,
at the
no.
pawn shop or something.
No, my neighbor was Ann Myers Drysdale, the wife of Don Drysdale, the baseball player. Anyway, she has a silver Olympic in women's basketball.
And
That's
when she
awesome.
wasn't looking, you grabbed it off the
No,
shelf.
I hang out. Well, I was friends with her son, DJ, and so we'd hang out, and on her mantle was an Olympic silver medal. I'm like, I touched it. We'd look at it all the time. She actually does all the commentary, so you can check her out on any of the women's basketball games.
She should have been on today's episode.
I mean, she's
should
in Rio
call
right
her.
now. She's in
Oh,
Rio.
yeah.
But that's the closest I'll ever get to winning the Olympics, touching a silver.
Stealing a medal.
So if you have any more comments about the Olympics, let us know how you think it's going. Let us know if you almost made it, but you just didn't make it to
Send us your favorite stories.
sailboarding.
We
Yeah.
would love to talk to somebody who was training for the Olympics.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because there's a lot of people who didn't make it because it's the best of the best. So thank you for watching. Again, you can check us out at faithandwhatever.com. Email us at faithandwhatever@gmail.com. But more importantly, like and subscribe to our YouTube videos. We would love comments right here on the YouTube video about the content that we're talking about. Also, check us out on Instagram at faithandwhatever and Facebook. Search Faith and Whatever, and we show up there. That's a pretty good place to have some great discussion about what we're doing, and I know we get really interactive with the messaging and with the comments on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. Again, thanks for watching.
Good night.
Yeah.